What's up, guys? My name is Adler. Thanks for tuning in. I saw The Invisible Man. So, this was the last movie that I saw in theaters. This was actually, specifically, February 27th. I wish I had known this was going to be the last time I was going to be sitting in a theater watching a film for a very long time. I'm kind of having some withdrawals. I'm scratching my neck. I really want to get back into the movie theaters already. Invisible Man. I saw The Invisible Man and I went in not really expecting much. So something about The Invisible Man was familiar, and after the movie ended, I wanted to know what it was that felt so familiar. And it was the fact that it was the same director that directed Upgrade. You guys remember Upgrade? Upgrade was dope as hell. Bruh. Upgrade blew my mind. Obviously, it gave me Venom gave me Upgrade vibes because Upgrade came out first. But yeah, man, I was watching the film and I'm kind of sitting there and I'm like, something feels. I guess he has a style. I don't know. But it's like there's something there, and I was just like, But besides that, one of my favorite things about the film, and I don't know if it's just because especially in that period of the end of February, my biggest focus, at least as a filmmaker, was cinematography and really just trying to figure out where the lighting was coming from and all that stuff. And one of the things that I realized, and I guess it's because of Blade Runner, me just diving deeper into cinematography, I realized that the best cinematography, let's take that back. I don't want to say the best cinematography, but some of the cinematography that I like the most, and I didn't even realize, was the cinematography where, first off, the camera is still. There's not so much camera movement, and I guess that just comes from, there's not so much camera movement, and I guess that's just because I come from, at least recently, being on set with a lot of music videos, editing a lot of music videos, and watching a bunch of travel videos, and a lot of that shit just makes me dizzy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to get dizzy just as a filmmaker, watching so many films. And so watching Invisible Man, it was really nice for me because I really appreciated the cinematography because it was just so simple. It's the best way to put it. It felt like a low budget film, but it was inspiring because it was almost like I could do this too. If my friends and I got together and we have a solid story, we could do something like that too. And one thing that I realized about The Invisible Man was that everything felt natural. You turn on that kitchen light, that light was motivated. You're outside, that light felt motivated. And I've done a couple episodes on Arrow, and just thinking about the cinematography in Arrow, yes, it's a television show, but the lighting is always hard. There's always a hard light in the back. There's always something, But when I'm watching The Invisible Man, or at least I'm thinking about The Invisible Man, I remember how just beautiful some of the close-up shots would be and how you would catch the eye light. What scene was it? There were certain scenes where it was dark. I mean, you guys might be like, what? Who cares? But no, I don't know. I really had to think about it. There were certain scenes where it was dark and the lights turned on and the exposure still stayed the same. Obviously, this is a Hollywood movie. Things have to be impeccable, but I don't know how to put my hands on it. I don't know how to word it, but it didn't feel forced. Everything just felt like what it is. It was just this is the world that it is. So about The Invisible Man, it kind of made me very anxious because at its core, it's a movie about abuse. At the core, and it's just it was just so sad to watch because she felt like she was alone and there was nothing that she could do, and it was she still had PTSD almost. That's the way that it seemed. And the whole time her ex-husband is really out here trying to make her feel terrible. You know what I mean? And so I like that whole psychological aspect to it because it made it seem at least from the people outside in her life, it was almost everything she touched, she was ruining. Everyone's trying to help her, but here's the Invisible Man and he's just ruining everything for her. And it's just kind of just towards the end, it almost gave me Stranger Things vibes, Stranger Things season 1, where it's just the main characters, you know, like they're not crazy, like just people are not listening to them, but they know what they're talking about. And one of the things that I really enjoyed about The Invisible Man, aside from just the fact that I don't want to say it was a psychological thriller, but just the pain that Cecilia went through as a character, you know, she was a very like she was always running. She was always running from something. One thing that I liked the most was the reveal. Like I was, so even though it's a movie, right? It wasn't like, oh, he put on some like cloth, and I know that's, you know, there's different ways that it could have been about, but I loved how at the end we realized that the reason why the technology works is because it's literally just a whole bunch of 360 cameras, and those cameras are just projecting what's going on around it. I was just like, that is genius, because I know the government already has something. I'm not even gonna get into this conspiracy stuff, but I mean, I'm pretty sure somewhere in the military, like they have some sort of reflective blanket or something that's able to refract light in some sort of way, like at least from far distances, it should be able to look like you're invisible. But I like that so much about the movie, and like when I saw that, I was just like, oh wow, like this is clever. Like I could get behind this. Like in all honesty, I could really get behind this. The thing I didn't like though, and the film overall, I enjoyed the film. I enjoyed it. I liked the story. I liked the cinematography. I liked how it was messing with our heads. I just did not like the ending with Cecilia and how she finally approaches Adrian. There were just certain things at that third act that I just couldn't get behind, like when she was inside the psych ward, and like the security guards just didn't decide to call for security, and it's almost like, bro, like clearly this chick's not crazy. You guys still are trying to shoot, like you have an invisible psychopath running around. So like there was just little logistical things that I was just kind of like, all right, like I'm just gonna suspend my belief here and just let this movie take me on the ride that it's trying to take me on. But it completely took me out when at the end Cecilia was at the dinner table and she's like, I have to go, and she comes back and like it looks like, you know, Adrian killed himself. And man, I wasn't really with that, man, because like this whole time, like I get it, like the whole time she was kind of like the character that's like running all the time, you know what I mean? And now she's trying to stand her ground, but I just felt like a lot of that was really forced. Invisible Man, I really am happy that I got to see it in theaters. It was the last movie again that I got to see in theaters, and I guess I'm happy because like recently I've been going to the movies by myself, you know, like I don't really tag along with people going to the movies. Watching Invisible Man was something like just me and the homies kind of did together. So I'm really happy that the last time I went to the movies, it was with my friends, because we haven't done something like that since we were like 17. And that was a while ago when we used to have our old channel. So I don't know, like I think about The Invisible Man, and it's not even just a movie anymore that I really appreciate. It's just the memory of being with my friends, because it just again reminded me of, you know, being small, you know, being young again, you know. And yeah, it was just really fun. But I really want to know what you guys thought about The Invisible Man down below in the comment section if you guys saw it. If you like what you saw, go ahead, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also follow me on Instagram. I'm a filmmaker, and I post my behind the scenes stuff and some of my work up there. So go ahead and check that out at The Cinematic Hitman. I really appreciate it for you guys to check it out. Thanks for stopping by. Can't wait for the movie theaters to open back up before 10.